A very good afternoon to you, Isaac, and thank you very much for joining us. Why fines and not imprisonment?
Thanks for having us, Mrena. Look, we do the fines based on the bylaws of the city, where we can actually ensure that we impose fines on any person who is found to have tempered or even vandalized our infrastructure. We, however, work with law enforcement to ensure that there are some certain level of imprisonment for those who actually do this. Remember, this tampering and vandalism does not only happen on the electricity infrastructure, but also even other infrastructures, including water infrastructure and even road infrastructure. So we've got the JMPD, which is mandated to ensure that they enforce the bylaws by, among others, ensuring that the perpetrators actually get arrested for those crimes that they've committed.
What kind of fines are perpetrators looking at?
It depends on the amount of tampering and vandalism that happened, but it starts with about 10,000 rands, and it can go beyond even the 50,000 rand, depending on the phases. There's one phase, second phase, or third phase of the connection, of the network connection to the customer. So we have already done most of the third phase customers, especially your customers in the suburbs. In the Infer, customer viewers will remember the cut-offs that we did and the fines that were imposed. There was one fine where somebody had to pay about 1 million rand. So we do have steep fines that we just need to really ensure that we enforce them. We do a lot of monitoring, go around and do some audits to ensure that whoever is found to have tampered with our infrastructure is basically dealt with. Remember, this is not only for us collecting revenue, but it's also to ensure that there is safety on customers. You'll remember the incident in Crosby, where there was a couple that was electrocuted, and upon investigation we found that they had actually the customer themselves, they had actually tampered with our infrastructure. They have unplugged the earth leakage wire, and as such they were actually putting their lives in danger, and unfortunately 2 people died in that incident. So it's also about our responsibility as a municipality to ensure that everyone is safe when they are using our services.
Mr. Mangena, tampering, illegal connection, electricity theft, and of course, you know, the vandalism is something that is not new. It's something that has been happening for years on end. What has City Power been doing to ensure that this is curbed? And if there's not really much that has been done, why is it only happening now that there is this kind of punishment?
In fact, there's a lot that we've been doing in terms of educating customers around issues of vandalism and tampering with electricity infrastructure. But we have also been doing this imposition of our steep fines to a lot of people that a lot of customers that we find to be actually tampering with our infrastructure. For instance, between January and June this year, we have already cut off about 18,000 customers in mostly suburbs and even businesses. These are the people that are actually able to afford to pay for electricity, and all of them collectively owe the city about 1.5 billion rands from their accounts, the 18,000 customers that we have already cut off. So after cutting you off, you are forced to basically make an arrangement with the city to ensure that you pay. Most of that amount is being paid monthly to ensure that at least we recover on the revenue. But we have been actually been imposing most of these fines to the customers that have actually tampered with our infrastructure. But it is more also about educating our customers about the dangers. Remember, it's like I said, it's not only about us basically wanting to catch people out and find them and make money, but it's also our responsibility as the municipality to ensure that people use electricity and they use it safely. But to ensure also that they don't actually vandalize our infrastructure, because of that can actually not only be dangerous but also inconvenience other customers. We have had many in fact outages across the city of Johannesburg, especially now during winter season. Most of that was actually caused by illegal connections and also vandalism of the infrastructure. It's also mostly because of the shacks that have been erected around formalized housing and you find that the inconvenience actually happened in the formalized housing who are actually paying for that electricity. So we have been conducting operations, including cut-off operations, to ensure that we deal with this situation, working with the SAPS and also the JMPD.
Mr. Mangena, I'm sure you know, South Africans are suffering. Everything is just going up. Rapatala petrolia, 18 rand 11, for a litre of petrol. The tariff hikes have prices have just gone up in electricity as well. I mean, I've been seeing a number of people saying that we are paying so much for such few units. So now, when an ordinary citizen or Joburger comes to City Power to say that, guys, I am struggling as a South African, and electricity is incredibly high, and that is why I've been unable to pay my electricity. So cutting me off is a little, indecent, maybe someone would say, and especially in times of COVID where people are losing their jobs. How then do you respond to that?
We are aware of the difficult economic times that we are in as the pro-poor municipality. We have actually came out appealing to those who are not able to pay for their services, not only electricity, but pay for their rates, pay for their services, to basically come through so that we can be able to work around what it's something that is actually workable for both the municipality but also for the customers. We have come out also with the amnesty for our customers to say those that have got problems, especially during these times of COVID, in terms of paying the services. They can also come through, including those that have actually been in arrears, to come through to basically plead their case and be able to come up with a solution that will be beneficial for both the city and also that customer. So we have extended that invite to the customers. We have gone out and, obviously talking to the customers to say, what is it that, how can the city basically be of help? But it's upon customers themselves to basically approach us to say, I've got a problem. As the city, we are not able to basically know when a person has a problem. All we know is what we can see, that Mangena hasn't been paying for the past 6 months, and the only solution that we have is to write those letters to remind Mangena to pay us, or we are coming to cut off. But if you come to our offices, we will be able to help you, especially those that are, the child-headed homes, pensioners as well. We do have programs to basically assist in terms of the pensioners, but also we've got an indigent policy, which is the policy that basically assists, the very same people that are not employed, and those that, especially pensioners, who are not able to pay, using the money that they get from government, to pay government for the services provided by government. So we do have those, and we've been appealing for them to basically come through so that we're able to know who they are. We can also be able to see how we can help them as the City of Johannesburg.
Well, that is incredibly encouraging, Mr. Mangena. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Midday View on ENCA. That is the spokesperson for City Power, Isaac Mangena.